guys. It is episode 4 of the Cephalo Podcast Show, and I have Jay from Fishbone, and now is in Year the Dragon, and I have Trash Crab and Penicius, aka Passable. And today we are talking about stories from being on tour.
Yes, sir.
And I think that Jay said that he has stories from being on Fishbone that he wants to share. I know Penicius has stories from... What band are you in?
Right now it's Feral Fawcett.
Hell yeah. Did you say Feral Fawcett? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Nice. Whoever came up with that one, good job.
Yeah.
My guitarist, actually.
I'd actually...
Huh?
Oh, is it you?
No, my guitarist.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
I'd like to know where you came up with that name, or he came up with the name.
Does it play on Farrah Fawcett?
Yeah.
That's it. It's not that deep.
Yeah. It's just the chick from one of the chicks from Charlie's Angels.
Oh, I guess that makes...
The original show.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
She was like
that.
a bombshell in the 70s, you know.
Probably the number one choice, the blonde on the show, right?
Yeah, she was definitely the it girl. I'm pretty sure the other two girls did not get a Playboy spread. But yeah, that's pretty good. Funny.
Yeah.
How do you spell the name of your band?
Feral and then Fawcett like a sink.
Yeah, nice.
Feral Fawcett. Let me give that a download on Spotify while we're talking about that. Because otherwise...
We're still in the process of recording our EP.
Oh, is there nothing out on Spotify right now?
Yeah, we've got a couple things recorded, but like it's been a weird balance of trying to get some more music written and playing shows. We've only been together for like 8 months at this point.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Not too long yet.
But yeah, so whoever wants to
say, do you not play guitar in the band, Mike?
I mean, I have a song I wrote that I'll like hop off of drums to play on guitar, but typically I play drums for the band. Yeah.
Oh, right on, cool. I just kind of assumed, since I know you play, that you'd be playing guitar in the band.
But
I just try to write a lot of music, honestly.
Drums are sick.
Yeah, I might have known you play drums, but I also don't remember shit ever. So you probably told me at one point. I just fucking forgot. But
Jay, one thing I was curious about was how did you even manage to get into Fishbone in the first place?
Okay, so that's a good story. Okay, so I have played trombone for, this is now my 25th, going on 26 years. And from, middle school, 8th grade, all through high school, took a year off. When I got to college, I went to UCLA, who is currently losing with a minute and a half to go. I'm fucking mad as shit. I'm so sad, bro. We were fucking up, and the epic collapse. But anyway, once I graduated from UCLA, my high school band director, and basically my mentor, he's a trumpet player. He went to the University of Michigan, taught for 25, 30 years at the school that I went to, Washington and Washington Prep High School in Los Angeles, California, South Central. And at one point when Fishbone was, they had the album. I want to say. What's the 91 album? It should be Give a Monkey a Brain and you'll swear he's the center of the universe. It could be that one, or maybe it's Reality of My Surroundings. I can't remember which one. Either one of those. There's a song on there called Sunless Saturday. At the end of that song, there is a trumpet, I guess you call it a fugue, played at the end. And that's by my band director, mentor, Fernando Pullum. Now he's my high school band director and all that shit. So when I graduated UCLA, he found out I was still playing because he didn't know. Gave me an opportunity to teach at his school because he was the arts director for an inner city charter school system, and he had his own school that was like named after him. So he gave me an opportunity to teach at for this it's called ISEF, Inner City Education Foundation. And of course, being fresh out of college, I was like, yeah, I'll take that. So I took that job. I was teaching, I was teaching 5 classes on 4 different campuses right out of college, like as an undergrad, educator. So that was tough, right?
Yeah.
And so I was only like 23, 24 at the time. It was 2009. Yeah, I was 23 turning 24. And so, of course, I had known about Fishbone. Fernando had told us a million stories about them, him playing on Saturday Night Live. So Fishbone played on Saturday Night Live in 91. They played some on Saturday. So at the end, you can see Fernando with Fishbone playing that trumpet fugue at the end of Silent Saturday on Saturday Night Live. The one time Fishbone was on Saturday Night Live, and they've never been back because they broke one of the rules or whatever. I forget what it was.
Was it being a ska band?
That's definitely one of the rules that keeps you out of going back. I think it was maybe smoking, or I can't fucking remember, cussing, whoever knows, but pissing off
some bullshit, pissing off Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, that's his name. I couldn't remember his fucking name, but one of those things. And so Fernando would tell us the story all the goddamn time about him playing that show on Saturday Night Live, how he was dressed in orchestra like attire and a tuxedo.
Right.
Fishbone don't do that type of shit. So he had to borrow a regular t-shirt from. he had to borrow a t-shirt from a Teamster, and so it's like
that's a fucking bummer.
So he's like, "Hey man, can I borrow the t-shirt?" And so he did that shit, and did that shit. So fast forward. That was 91. Fast forward 28 fucking years later to 2009, and so the week of my birthday when I'm turning 24, I think the day before my birthday, like that Monday of that week, my birthday was that Friday when we had, or Saturday I think, and that show was Friday. We had a show in San Francisco. Monday I go in to teach. I'm going into work. And he fucking gives me he pulls me to the side like, "Hey man, the then trombone player for Fishbone was a guy named John McKnight. John McKnight was planning on leaving the group at some point in the near future. He decided, that he didn't want to be, he wanted to pursue other shit. So they had an opening for, at least a few gigs. Like it was originally supposed to be like for 4. I ended up only playing 3 of the 4. I think maybe 2 of the 3. I can't really remember all of those details. But that Monday, Fernando pulls me aside like, "Hey man, you want to do this gig? It pays this much. It's in San Francisco." And I'm like, "Sure, as long as you give me the day off from work. Like, I teach. I have to teach all these kids that you fucking pay me for to teach." So he's like, "Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Da 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 da. All right." And then I was like, "All right, cool, bet, yes, of course." I'm going to take any opportunity to perform at that point. So during that week, I basically had to go meet with Angelo. I hadn't met, I knew the guys, or of the guys, but I never met them. They had been to Fernando's school and some of the other, programs before, but I had never spoken with them. So I go to Angelo's. He was staying in Hollywood at the time, that Wednesday, and I met with him, went over stuff for at least an hour or so, hour and a half maybe. Go shot the shit, start practicing, learning horn parts and everything like that, for stuff I had to play. So that was my literal first time meeting Angelo, having a conversation, going to his shit, and then practicing with him. Next thing I know, that Friday when we're heading to San Francisco. So by the way, we were opening for Living Color. It was Fishbone opening for
Oh,
Living
holy
Color.
Oh
shit.
shit.
What a fucking
Nice.
trip, right?
Yeah.
So I get in the van and then I'm still practicing shit with Angelo. And I meet like everybody else in the band, you know. Then it was John Stewart on drums. Walt was out of the band. And so, you know, my band director was playing trumpet. Then it was he didn't drive up with us. He had a Porsche, so he drove up himself, which was, you know, some crazy shit to me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in the van on the way, you know, we're riding up. Another person who was, you know, Norwood was there. Fucking he's the bass player. Greg Bell was a good friend. He also played in Norwood's funk group Trulio Disgracias. But you know, unfortunately, he passed away a few years back. Love Greg Bell. He was one of the crew guys for that run. So I will always remember that moment. So we're in the van 5 hours from, you know, LA to San Francisco, driving up. I'm practicing with Angelo the whole way, or most of the way up there in the van. All right. So my guy, and you know, Rocky George from Suicidal Tendencies was a guitar player at the time. I met him, great dude, love him still to this day. And then the keyboard player at the time was a guy named Dre Gibson, um, a little older than me, very talented musician. Super stoked to, you know, play with those guys. So we drive up, we get to San Francisco. You know, we're only there for, you know, for that one night. I fucking meet one of Fishbone's legendary homies, Butch. I don't know Butch's real name. Somebody has told me it before. I don't, you know, because like there are some people who love Butch greatly, and for Fishbone in the Bay Area, he is everything, right? So he's literally always the first person you would see in the Bay Area when Fishbone will roll into town. We get there, see Butch. I was thinking like, who is this dude? He looks homeless. Hair full of dreads, a bag, a bag full of roaches. You know what I'm saying? And like, Butch was the man. You know what I'm saying? Butch was amazing. I loved Butch. He was the man. Um, but you know, he also lived a wild life. I can't say, you know, much more about. I don't really know him. You know, I just know that it was like that. So let me tell you, that first show was the most nerve-wracking experience I probably have had in all of my Fishbone shows. Okay, like I'm standing next to. First of all, I learned songs that Wednesday. You know what I mean? I learned songs that Friday on the way to the gig, and then at the gig, I'm playing next to my mentor, my boss. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling me shit in my ear, and like the whole night, you know what I'm saying? Like, do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. And then next thing I know, I turn to my right at one point, and this motherfucker goes crowd surfing. And I'm like, all right, big guy. Okay. I see it's like that. So you can do whatever kind of whatever the shit you want to do. And I'm up here like stressing out, walking on eggshells and shit. When we
Jesus
play
Christ.
when we play a song that has horns in it, we're up there, you know, having a good time. Then we fucking, you know, leave the stage when it's not our time because I'm not that guy yet, which was fine for me. I was like that, you know, standing there awkwardly would be terrible. So, but to watch this dude, like, you know, who's been, you know, basically like a father figure for like at that point, damn near, I don't know, 50, what, 8 years, 6 years, 7 years, however long, you know what I mean, from uh, high school to, you know, then my literal first job out of college, full time job out of college, all of that shit was crazy. Um, get through the gig, it was great. You know, what I mean, I was super excited. Everything about it was amazing. Everybody was cool. Everybody was, you know, it was nothing but love and positivity. And then that went on, you know, for another two or so gigs, like not really close, but like, you know, spread out over time. And so that felt that felt really good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that was I didn't expect that. It was the least thing, like the last thing on my mind that I thought would happen. Like for me to be able to play in Fishbone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it went
Fucking
down in
crazy.
such a weird fucking way. And then that was my first gig. It led to two more. Like I said, it led to two more gigs. Um, but like that was the intro for me being in the band. You know what I'm saying? Like it was pretty solid for the next 9 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I left the band at the end of 2017, almost 2018. So, dude.
So basically, were you in any other bands before that, like, or was it just like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I played it. I started playing professionally as a musician at 19. So this will be This is year 18, going on 19 for me now.
Oh, okay.
And then like that was because I took a year off at UCLA when I got there as a freshman. I put my horn away. Call a fucking timeout, UCLA. Come on. Oh my God, they're down by 2. Sorry, man. This game is fucking nuts right now. I can't believe they have made it close. They were getting there. Hit the 3, Bailey. Yes! Holy shit! Holy shit! They're up 1 with 12 seconds left. Holy shit! Holy shit! Yes! Holy shit! Okay. All right. Okay. So so at 19, I was going to UCLA. I had a fucking an offer to record for my then warehouse manager, because I worked at the UCLA student store in the back, moving all the heavy ass boxes. It was literally the first job I took my first day as a freshman on campus over the summer there at UCLA. They offered me. I was like, I need money, bro. Like they were like, you want to work? And I was like, yes. So I huffed fucking boxes all day at the student store in the back. Textbooks and all that shit. It was crazy. I fucking got an offer to record horn parts for some project of his. It was my manager's fucking project with some other black rockers out here, and that got me to take my horn out of the closet to start recording again after not picking up my horn for an entire year after graduating high school.
Oh, hell yeah.
The next thing that happened that was huge for me was I went to, like I said, I went to a high school called Washington High in LA. That's in South Central. That like, if you've ever seen a movie like called The Principal, I think it's The Principal. It's really about Washington High back in the 70s when that shit was terrible. And the principal had to be like body slamming kids and shit like that because it's one of those Edward James almost type movies where it's like, how do I reach these kids type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it was not a great school, but what hooked me was like I said, in 8th grade, I was set to like go to Crenshaw High where Nipsey went because at the time that's where I was living, close to that area, Slauson and Crenshaw.
Right.
But
right up in there, shit.
Right up in there, bro. Like
Fucking
you know what I'm saying? That's where my folks are from.
Word.
Holy shit! He hit a 3 comeback. No. Run down the court. Oh, he got stripped. We're fucking. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, this is. Okay. Damn it.
I gotta say, I don't miss that part of sports.
Same way we lost last time we played Gonzaga, a half-court 3.
Man,
this time,
that's a fucking bummer, dude. He actually fucking hit that shit.
Yeah, that's how Jalen Suggs beat us last time on a half-court 3.
All right, so
it's fucking nuts. I was at that school, and how I got at that school was, Fernando basically recruited me in 8th grade. He came to, the school I was going to, and I was like, I'm going to Crenshaw High. He was like, nah, you're going to my school. You're going to be in this new music magnet that I'm creating. And I was like, oh, all right, cool, bet. And it was all she wrote. So, there is a band which is pretty much made up of uh, people who graduated from my high school, but who are like a little bit older. Like I graduated in 2003. This is actually my 20th year reunion this year from high school, and the guys in this band graduated like 97, 98, 99. So they're in their 40s now. But at the time, they were, in their late 20s, or, and they needed a trombone player or a third horn player. And they looked back and like, I was a guy who always looked up to those dudes because like they started this band when I was in high school. Well, when they were in high school, just years before me. So they really had everything. They had everything that I wanted. Yeah, UCLA lost by 3. Tough game. They had everything that I wanted. So that opportunity was huge for me. I really didn't know what to do with myself when that happened. And so I went on tour. They're called the Wild Bunch, WYLDEBUNCH. The Wild Bunch, because the WB also stood for Washington Band, right? And before I joined the group, they at one point were signed to Sony Music, which is I think it's kind of funny because Sony Music didn't know what to do with them, just the way Sony Music at one point had Fishbone back in the 80s, and they didn't know what to do with them and how to promote them. And, that's kind of like an interesting parallel for me to be in two bands that were once signed to Sony after they were signed to Sony, and, them not being as successful as they should be because, industry issues and shit like that. So I joined Wild
I
Bunch.
fucking know that band, dude.
The Wild Bunch, they had
The
a
last
song,
day of school, dude. I know that fucking song.
"We Live Life." Yeah, it was
Yeah,
on Madden and
dude.
shit.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
dude. That's dope you were in that band.
Yeah, man. I
Fuck.
spent. So it's funny we were talking about college sports earlier because I was in that band around. I joined that band in fucking 2005 or 2006 when I was 20. Right,
I
right
think I
before I
see you
turned.
in one of these pictures of the band.
We were on fucking Fox Sports College Football Saturday back in 06. So, you know what I'm saying? Playing one of the new songs at that time called Stomp the Bleachers. So, yeah, dude, for not playing for a year to then having a bunch of opportunities open before me when I thought for sure, like, having all those, opportunities come up out of nowhere, it was like, dude, what are you doing? Why aren't you playing your trombone? And so that really pushed me to get back out there and do the thing. They, at the time when I joined the group, they had that single Stomp the Bleachers coming out. We did that Fox Sports shit. That was huge. And then we went on tour with Slightly Stoopid. So
Oh
Nice.
hell yeah!
that was literally my first tour ever. I was 20. I wasn't even 21 yet, I think, when I first started playing with those cats. So like some of the local things that I did with the band, I still had those X's on my hands when I hit the club, type of shit. And then for that entire month we were on tour, we only did part of Slightly Stupid's tour where we opened for them on the West Coast, Cali, Colorado and stuff like that. We like I said, we opened for Slightly Stupid, and it opened my eyes to the things that I could really do, like as a part of a band. So I had to do like a lot of work myself in order to make that shit happen for me. We were on tour for a month. I was at UCLA, and like, unless you're in a UCLA band, like nobody kind of like nobody like understands. Nobody knows what the fuck you're doing. So at the time, I had I started at UCLA. I wanted to be like a computer science engineer guy, but because I spent my entire fucking uh, 4 years of high school in every band I could fucking be in, jazz band, marching band, fucking, even like bandas, you know what I'm saying? Like with my homies, like Mexican bandas and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
gospel groups, like you name it, like if there was a band that I could play in, I was doing it. And so if I spent that much time doing computer science and shit, I would have been able to, actually succeed in that type of major. But I wasn't, so I couldn't fucking do that. So I ended up switching my major to music history at some point. Maybe I think my sophomore or not my sophomore year, because like I fucked my sophomore year up. So it would have been like maybe my second sophomore year. I ended up being at UCLA for 6 years. So I almost got kicked out at one point. So I was in a music history major. The only like it was so funny kind of at that time because one of my roommates, my sophomore year, was a music history major at the time, and he changed his major to history, um, for whatever reason. And then I got into music history as he was leaving out, so it was like, oh, they switched one black guy for another black guy.
You can only have one at a time.
You can only
That's
have
the
one.
rule.
And so I was like, damn. So,
That's
right when I
fucked
got
up.
there, I was like, geez, I guess I'm the one guy here. And so there was some cool people in the program that I was, going to school with, but the professors were very not like, I guess, open to shit that, it's a music history course, but you don't like, you spend most of your 2 or 3 years in the program, like really learning about shit that you aren't really interested in, to be honest. Like at least I wasn't. You know what I mean? I don't like medieval music. I don't like fucking
Yeah.
Baroque and classical and all that shit. It was just like, I have to learn this because this is what you say I have to learn. Fuck. All right, cool. And so, in order to go on tour with Wild Bunch and Slightly Stoopid, I had to do a month's work of work for as many of my classes as possible.
I see.
And
That's a bitch.
dog, so like when I got back, everybody thought I had dropped out because they hadn't seen me in a month. And like, so I was saying, like, unless you were in a UCLA band or like a program that, hey, we're going to be going on, traveling out of state to do XYZ thing. Nobody knew what the fuck I was doing, even though I talked to all my professors like, hey, I'm going on tour for a month. I will be back. Here's all my work. Turn it in advance. So by the time I get back, I'll maybe have missed a couple of things, but what I mean, don't fail me. I will be back. And then I show up and it's like, oh, we thought, oh, the one black kid, I totally thought you dropped out or whatever. And it's like, no, motherfucker, like I turned in a month's worth of work beforehand and I went to work.
Like
You
shit.
know what I'm saying?
You're like, did you even notice I'm a different black guy? Like what
Jesus
the fuck?
Christ.
So it was like that, dude. But that was like, man, that was my first tour ever, and it was literally one of the best experiences of my life. I think one of my favorite tour stories happens on that tour. So by the time where I'm on tour with these guys, opening for Slightly Stoopid, I'm 21, right? But like a fresh 21 at this
Finally.
point.
Got the X's wiped off your hands.
Right? I got those
Yeah,
X's wiped off.
seriously.
So
Got a fucking wristband.
I can go drink.
I'm a
Even
big
though-
boy now.
Go get some wine coolers.
So like one night we were playing in either I want to say Salt Lake City, Utah, or maybe it wasn't Utah. It could have been Petaluma, California. I I lean towards Petaluma.
That's my part of town.
Yeah, dude. I lean towards Petaluma because I want to say it was the Mystic Theater we played at. My memory's a little foggy, bro, because, like, you know what I'm saying? This is damn near 20 years ago, near almost now.
And you were freshly 21.
A few years off. So after the show, we're hanging out because we had the night off, the next day, night off, and we were playing in, like, Tahoe or Reno the next day. We're not at that time, you know, the Wild Bunch wasn't as good, as popular or big or whatever. So we didn't have a tour bus. We split the shit by like 3 vans, right? 3 minivans. One for equipment, which me and the sax player were riding in, and then 2 for personnel because we had a big band, like 10 or 11 members at the time. And we were staying at this hotel. Slightly had their tour bus. And after the show, at some point, I go hang out with the 2 lead singers of the band of my band, and we're on Slightly Stupid's tour bus. You know, they found out I was like 21 and hadn't really got drunk, like ever at that point. Or, you know, at least I had been tipsy, but I never been drunk. So, you know, I'm hanging out on their tour bus. This is before I smoked weed, so I had nothing. I was sober as shit. Yeah, man. I was sober as shit. I just smoked weed until I was 23. And so,
wow. Fucking late bloomer over here, man.
Seriously.
I made up for it. Trust me, I got some great stories for this podcast. So we are hanging out in the front of their bus, not even the back, because, you know, this is my first time on a tour bus ever at this age, and so, you know, they started giving me alcohol or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever. I'm getting fucked up rather quickly, but at some point, you know what I mean, we're hanging out with those guys. They're smoking and drinking. They're having a great ass time. You know what I mean? And like my lead singer somehow, you know, like gets me back to our hotel. The other lead singer, like the homie Speed, apparently got so fucked up he got left on their tour bus, and so we didn't find this out until like the next morning, because like I was fucked up. I didn't know it. Shit, I was back at the room like, all right, cool, bet. And then like their tour bus left, you know, early to drive to Tahoe. And so Speed wakes up in the middle of the day like, why am I still on this tour bus?
Where am I?
Yeah, exactly. It was like, I was like, is it cool that you're there? And they were like, yeah, it's all good. Like, all right, well, then we'll see you in Reno. We're like, fuck it. They're not going to stop. You know what I mean? So like, we met up with Speed in Reno, and it was all good. It was all love. No bad feelings, no hard thoughts.
Man, that's...
So, like, that's
a great story for him, man.
That's funny, especially because it reminds me of, like, a Hard Times article.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think that they did have one like that. It was like irresponsible band leaves bassist in hot car or some shit. Oh shit, dude, that's funny.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? Other highlights. I can't remember too many other highlights. Oh, there is another highlight from that tour. Okay, so this is sometime after the Reno show. I think maybe, I don't know how long. Because after that show, we had a show. Our last show of our part of the run with Slightly Stupid was in San Luis Obispo at the Pozo Saloon. All right. I don't know if you guys are somewhat familiar with that area, but it's next to like a state park, right?
Yeah.
And so this is 2006, 2007, and well before Google Maps, we had MapQuest directions. Yeah, so
Oh,
on
God.
the
Man, those are some crazy days, dude. Fucking
Man.
printing them out, holding it on the steering wheel as you drive.
Jesus
not
Christ.
even top.
That fucking reminds me of a hilarious story. I'll let you finish, but I got something to add to that.
Oh
Better
man.
make a note, dude, so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Please write that shit down.
Yeah,
Let me
seriously.
let me put this like right in my face here, so I won't forget that. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is a good
You got
story.
a post-it note that you can put on your fucking
Yeah,
monitor.
that's what I'm doing now, man.
Nice.
I cannot believe I almost forgot about this story too. All right, but yeah, continue.
So we had the MapQuest directions, but the website explicitly states do not use the MapQuest directions, right? But you wouldn't know that if you just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I got these MapQuest directions.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
it, we on our way. And of course, the tour bus didn't use those directions because they have to go around anyway, the long way. So we ended up cutting through the state park in those 3 minivans on dirt bike paths to get to this fucking destination. Right? It was fucking frightening. I thought we were gonna die. The fucking equipment van that me and the sax player were in had a flat tire, like, or at least a low tire, because we had all the gear in this fucking van. Driving up a mountain, or down up a dirt bike fucking path, basically. And so at every turn, I was like, "Yo, we're gonna fucking eat shit over this fucking in a ravine with all this gear, and we're not no cell phone service." I was like, "Dude, we're gonna fucking die!" Like,
I out here,
so,
man. Fuck.
so I was freaked the fuck out.
Mom, come
the whole
pick me
time.
up.
Then
I'm
we-
scared.
So then we finally get on the other side of that shit, and we hit the highway to this fucking saloon, and I was like, "Oh my god, we fucking made it! I can't believe it!" Like, dude, that was the epic tour, man. I still love it and miss a lot of the experiences from that tour. It was fresh, it was new. I was hungry. I wanted everything I could. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
I was so excited that like I couldn't like when we first left from LA to start the tour. 3 minivans. I had a shift that was second shift from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. for driving, and I fucking couldn't sleep before my shift. So I couldn't make my whole shift because by the time 5 a.m. we were about to stop, I was shaking from like drinking too many rock stars and frappuccino drinks. Like I just needed to sleep, bro. Like so, they were like, let him pull over and somebody else would do the last hour. Da 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 da. I was fucking too excited. And yeah, man.
A
That's
very similar thing happened when me and my friends went on a fucking surfing/fishing trip to Baja. We were
oh
going like
wow.
we were driving like halfway down, so it was like a 13-hour drive out of San Diego. And yeah, I was supposed to be like the second driver, and I fucking couldn't fucking sleep the whole fucking time. So when I fucking went to take over, like I was like fucking drowsy and shit. And in Mexico, well, maybe you probably know, but I'm assuming that our other buddies here don't know. That the
Yeah,
signage
definitely
isn't the
not.
same and stuff. They don't it like they obviously you can tell speed limit and shit like that. But it's not the same. So we were coming up on like a turn, and it was a sharper turn than I anticipated from the signage, and it didn't help that we were like driving at night, and fucking like the back right wheel like went off into the fucking dirt a little bit in the turn, and my friend whose car it was, who had been driving the first ship, was like, "Nope, that's it. I'm driving the whole way,"
Yo,
and I still didn't sleep.
crazy.
So I mean,
That's crazy.
Man,
Man.
yeah, but that was a fun ass trip though, dude. Fucking kind of like what you were saying. Like, I mean, obviously it wasn't like a multi-stop tour kind of trip, but like we spent like 7 days camping on the beach by this little tiny village, fucking
That's
surfing,
awesome.
fucking spearfishing, fucking. we fucking drank the town out of Pacifico. Another thing that you guys probably don't know about Mexico, and particularly when you're in like the more rural areas with the smaller villages, when you get beer, you're supposed to bring the bottles back so they can reuse them.
Refill, yeah.
Yeah, and so because you do that, they'll give you a discount on your next case because they're just like it's like you're renting the bottles or whatever, and so we Pacifico was our preferred of the Mexican offerings, and by like the second day when we went back in with our bottles, like none of the little fucking liquor stores had any to fucking exchange it with. So we had to just buy another fucking case, and we just ended up with these fucking bottles that we couldn't do anything with. It was just like, what the fuck, dude? But yeah, it was a little village. Like the restaurants were people's kitchens,
Oh shit!
It was pretty fucking cool, dude. Yeah, it was a trip of a lifetime, dude. And what was nuts, dude? Because like this is crazy because they're so fucking expensive and they take so much maintenance. There's a fucking desalinization plant like right there for the village. So we were able to get, like fresh water for free. Though they did keep trying to charge us, but we were with a guy who had been down there before, and he was like, they're like, oh yeah, like $5, and he's like, no, like I know this is free, and they'd be like, oh, they just kind of laugh and it's like, fucking bastards. But it's such a sick trip. Fucking Friday night, they set up like this big pavilion and like had a fucking DJ and like a fucking dance club fucking out on the cliff, and we fucking moseyed on up and fucking because we were the out of town white guys, like all the fucking girls were like interested, and fucking the dudes were not digging that, and I had to fucking drag my friends away. I was like, dude, we are gonna get fucking jumped.
Yeah.
I was like, it's bad enough we're here like surfing their break already. I'm sure they don't like that, like fucking, which they didn't. My buddy, it's a sick little place because of the geography. Like there's a point, and there's like a cove as well right next to it. You get like all the three types of surf breaks. You get the break off the point, there's reef break out in the water, and then you get the shore break at the cove. So my friend was out at the point, which will get you bigger waves. And he was just about to, he was paddling to drop into the wave, and this fucking local dude grabbed his fucking leash and like yanked him out and catapulted himself in dude. At the same fucking time, and just straight jacked him. Fucking, and so my friend was like waiting on the shore, and then he was like, "Oh wait, that's not a good idea." So, fucking moved down the beach a ways to the reef break, but yeah. So I mean, they already were not stoked with us, camping there, and there was only like 3 or 4 other, groups of people that were camping there. So it's like, it's not like we had, the benefit of numbers or anything.
I hear you,
but
dude. That's dangerous territory.
Okay, and I got one more. This is funny. So this one night, I think it was actually the night that we couldn't return the Pacifico. We fucking we bought this bottle of vodka, just regular. It wasn't a brand we knew, but it was just regular bottle of vodka. Fucking 80 proof. That shit was almost explosive. It was like,
oh god, dude!
Put it on the fire, and it was like, and it's just like. That is not 80 proof. That's like 150.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, fucking, I could not believe that shit.
That's fucking funny, dude.
And then one final tale from this. We were on, so this dude would come driving through the campsite area with fresh fish to sell to people. And then he also had a little bit of fucking shit-ass weed. And so, we got some fucking weed from him. And the dude that took us to the place, like the guy who'd been there before, he was like 8 or 10 years older than most of us. And So we were kind of like looking to him to guide us through this fucking trip, since he'd done it before and blah 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 blah. And so we're gonna spark up a joint this one night, and he insists on rolling it in the car, which like I was like, I don't know why you're doing this. You can just do it in one of the tents. But we do it in the car, and then when we're fucking leaving, we're coming back to fucking the U.S. At one of the fucking checkpoints, fucking they found a seed on the fucking ground and fucking shunted us off to the side, and we're fucking shaking us the fuck down.
Man, all that shit over a seed.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
that's so
That's
shitty.
intense,
And fucking
man.
so we had to pay out pretty much what we had left, because when we were down there, we had a stash of money, so that if something like that happened, it'd be like, oh well, here, this is all I have on me, and it wasn't all the fucking money. But when we were going back, we had it all, because like we were just thinking, we're just going back, it's not going to be a big deal. So they fucking took everything we had, and we needed fucking gas, dude. And
Man.
fucking thankfully we made it to a large city, and their fucking ATMs were cross border, so we were fucking able to draw money out. But we fucking almost got stuck like fucking 5 hours south of the border in Mexico.
Some scary shit, bro.
Man,
Nobody,
fuck that.
no one who actually really speaks the language that well, because the dude who fucking took us, he fucking kind of misrepresented how well he spoke fucking Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, it was somewhat passable, but it was not like, he was like, oh yeah, it's no problem, I took this trip a bunch of times, I talked to him, no problem. And then it's like, he fucking like, just, he sucked, dude. Like, we were better at it than him. But yeah, that was like trip of a lifetime, really. It was fucking crazy.
Damn, dude,
Man.
that's some epic tales, bro.
All right, let me.
What's really
Like,
funny is
seriously.
lots of people from San Diego actually have similar stories, because that used to be a super common thing before, all the kidnappings and the crazy cartel activity.
But yeah, let me swing back over to that MapQuest story. So
Yeah, dog. Let's hear it.
this is like I was probably, I think, 14 or 15, right?
I can't believe you fucking used MapQuest, you fucking child, you baby.
Yeah. So that's the funny part about this story. The reason why is because I was about 14 or 15. I was grounded, and
Isn't that always the way?
I had an iPod that I was still allowed to have, but I didn't have my phone, right? So I took the iPod, and I was still able to get internet and shit on it. I was fucking scrolling Facebook, and dude, I'm horny as hell, right? Like, I'm a little kid, like, hormones everywhere.
I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
Have a dick, so
But I was scrolling Facebook, and some girl who lived in town was like, "Hey, I'm hungry. Somebody should bring me food." So I was like, "Oh shit,
I got some
this is my
sausage I can bring you."
So I was like, "This is it." So I was like, "Yo, I don't know this girl, man. She's just like on my Facebook. I think I went to."
That's a nice caveat there.
Yeah,
By the way, I don't even know this chick. Freaking-
I was gonna throw that out there now, because that makes this story all that more ridiculous. But so I was like, "Oh, dude, I have a half of a Subway sandwich." It's like, "I'll bring that shit to you." And she's like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
can you
God,
drive?" I'm like,
dude.
"Yeah, sure, I could drive, no problem." Guess what? I couldn't
Suck
fucking
your dick
drive.
for half a sandwich.
I couldn't fucking drive, man. But my mom had a car, and she was asleep, and I knew where the key was. And keep in mind, I've never driven a car before this in my
Oh
life.
Jesus!
God damn.
So I don't have GPS.
What kind of car was it?
Like a fucking
Like a sedan?
yeah.
Like
It was
a car?
yeah.
Okay.
Or no. It was like a, I guess like an SUV. So it was
Oh,
it was
nice.
a big fucking car.
Like a big one, sick.
Yeah.
So you're
So-
like, oh my God.
So I hit her up. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll bring you some food. And so I grab the sandwich. I get on my iPod and I go on MapQuest and I screenshot like the directions for everything. And I'm like, this is gonna be a piece of fucking cake, man. No problem. I was a man on a mission, right? So I get in the car, I throw the sandwich in the passenger seat, and I start the car. And then at that moment, I'm like, maybe this isn't a good idea. But like I said, I was a man on a mission. I already told her I was gonna be there. I already made these promises. I got to go through with this. So I back up.
Got the sandwich.
I drive. I'm like in the middle of the lane. I'm like I made the wrong turn, so I'm trying to turn around, and I fucking like end up like on the median. Like I'm like, how the fuck do you work this thing? So finally I get there, and we're hanging out. I give her the sandwich. She's like, oh cool, thanks for the sandwich. And we kind of sit there awkwardly and not talk. Nothing really happens. So I was like, man, this isn't going how I thought it would. So I make my way back home, same shit, like missing turns, like looking at these fucking MapQuest things I have screenshotted on my iPod. It's not going very well. I'm like, this is a waste of time. Like, hopefully I can get back without getting pulled over or anything, because then I'm in trouble. So I get back to my house, and there's like fucking 5 cars pulled up at my house, and my mom like called all her friends. They're like searching for my car. They're fucking pissed.
Oh fuck.
And they're like, what the fuck were you doing? I was like, I was just bringing a sandwich to some chick. And they're like, I don't believe that. What were you doing? I'm like, no, like dead ass. I was bringing a sandwich to this chick.
Like I'll show you the conversation. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. They're like, you're fucking stupid. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have got some, it would have all.
That's
worked out,
yeah,
bro.
man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Then you
at
wouldn't
that
have been
point.
stupid. You would have been fucking
it's
genius.
like now I'm even more grounded.
you
I
know,
don't.
it's like-
And your balls are blue.
My balls are blue. I'm more grounded. I'm down half a sandwich.
That fucking lot. That was a dang sandwich. Like
Yeah.
you were clearly saving it for something.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought this was gonna be my chance to shine. I was gonna be like, but nope.
Oh, man.
So
Getting some booty is definitely a strong motivator to do things you should be doing.
yeah, and I mean, especially when you're like 14 years old and like,
Yeah, when you're a fresh teenager, like it is a powerful thing when any woman pays you the slightest attention.
It's a powerful motivator now.
and that's what I
yeah.
realized. I was like, man, getting laid is hard. Like you gotta put a little more.
Like,
I put
man.
all this work into like so much work, and it just came from
Hey,
it.
shit.
Fuck, man.
Pimping really ain't easy.
Yeah. That's fucking nuts, dude. Damn, MapQuest times. Oof. I don't
Oh,
remember
man.
those.
Yeah, man.
I don't miss those. I mean, I do not miss.
Thomas Bros times, dude. You remember that?
That's what I'm saying. I don't miss none of that.
Yeah, and
I don't
shit
miss
was rough.
none of that.
thanks to
I don't
MapQuest,
miss
it was probably like a 5-minute drive that took me about 20. Well, I guess I can't blame it all on MapQuest because most of it was my inability to drive.
We driving
know
all
what I'm
slow
saying?
too.
Super fucking slow. Like I was trying to do U-turns and I was like fucking them up. I was like, damn, my mom makes this shit look easy.
Not knowing shit. Not knowing a damn thing for sure.
Man.
But
That's tough.
yeah, that was
That's a good ass story.
yeah,
No
yeah,
lie.
dude. That was probably like one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Like looking back at it, I'm like, how the fuck did my teachers think I was a smart kid? Because I was a dumb fucking kid.
I mean, street smarts is different than book smart
Yeah.
because I was definitely a book smart kid who did not have like who lived in the streets but didn't have like all the best street smarts. And then street smarts is usually like you making a bunch of mistakes
Yeah.
and then going, damn, why the fuck did I do that? Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
you
because
don't
I didn't have fucking guidance
you
in
don't you
any of
don't
these
you don't get
situations.
street smarts from being smart.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, they
Like,
should.
they're acquired from being a fucking
That's
idiot.
a skill they
Yeah,
should
Not
teach in
knowing
high
what the
school.
hell you're
surviving.
doing.
They should teach street smarts in high
Surviving.
school. Like that's a underappreciated
I
skill to
mean,
have right
there
there.
there's a lot of things they need to change about high school, bro.
But like
I
it's
agree.
fucking crazy because
agree.
they hardly teach you how to like not get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
They don't
life
teach you that
skills
at
is
all.
not a thing.
No, what they teach you is exactly how to get your ass.
Yeah,
whooped.
yeah,
Like, oh, are you getting bullied? Go tell the teacher. It's like, yeah.
yeah.
Not only is that not gonna fucking work, I can kick my ass
Yeah,
again.
that's what I'm saying. Like they told me
Like,
that they're like,
what?
"Oh, are you being bullied? Go tell the teacher." So I was like, "Hey, bro, this dude is bothering me," and he beat my ass again. I was like, "Fuck,
Damn.
I can't win with you people."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up. See,
And then being
my mom,
fucking neurodivergent at the same time is like, I don't understand this shit.
And
It's like all the rules they're telling me doesn't fucking work. They don't make any sense.
yeah, dude. Luckily that was only like in early middle school. By high school, for some reason, people left me alone, and I think the reason to that is because they thought I would shoot up the place.
Nah, dog. It was the noise of the day.
Yeah,
homie.
it was probably that. So back when I was in high school, like I never talked to anybody, but I'm actually still good friends with them now. They started a thing. They're like, "Hey, what's the noise of the day?" And I would go, and that's probably why they left me alone. They're like, "This kid's cool. No other. We can not get the noise."
Like this kid's hilarious.
Yeah.
band
I
saved my
don't
ass
know
in
if
high school for
they
sure.
were making fun of you or if they actually like you.
Yeah, I
But
was like,
hey,
man, I can't tell
it works.
if you're being nice to me or if you're making fun of me. But honestly, I don't really care because you're not hitting me.
Right. You're not fucking bullying me. You're not fucking trying to hit me. No one's fucking mocking
And honestly,
me. Really,
like, I'll
not everyone's laughing at me.
and I mean, from what Kovu said, maybe they left me alone because they thought I was like autistic or something.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
maybe
kinda
maybe
got
they
that
didn't want to be the
impression
person
as
to
well.
bully the autistic kid. I don't know. I wasn't autistic. I was just strung out on Adderall.
I mean, you were ADHD, but
Yeah,
probably could barely tell because of all the Adderall.
yeah. But yeah, so I think now what we're gonna do is if Passable has any touring stories he'd like to share.
Oh, I've never toured. I've just played some wild shows at DIY venues.
Fuck it, that works, dude. Let's hear it.
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
What is up, Denny's? Did you play?
Man, Denny's.
Did you play at a Denny's?
I wish I would play Denny's.
You're like, that's big time, dude. Fuck. Who do you think I am?
So say probably the rowdiest show I've played to date was at a now defunct venue called the Art Hole, which was this dingy little like studio apartment sized room that they like had a stage kind of cordoned off into, and then like fucking like rock climbing holds on the walls and like insulation foam on everything. Like
That's like the
had black
size of a
lights for lighting.
rehearsal, of a tiny rehearsal space.
How many people
I
did
mean,
you
it
have
did
packed
that
in there?
too. It had to have been like 30 or 40 people. Like it got pretty wild.
Jesus, dude.
It's like fucking sardines in a can, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man,
Oh shit.
that's funny, dude.
Crowd go off though.
Still pretty sick though.
Dude, it was crazy. It felt like a much bigger crowd. Like everybody was jumping around, everybody was
mean,
moshing,
yeah.
like people were crowd surfing and shit. Like honestly, one of my favorite gigs I've ever played.
Oh man.
It was interesting. My brother subbed in on drums for like 80% of the gig, pretty much, because our guitarist that was normally there couldn't make it, and the rhythm guitarist couldn't even like hold a candle to the lead. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just learn everything. That's fine." So played all that, like, just had a really good time. Like, finished it strong on the drums, but like, really solid venue, like literally one of the best crowds I've ever gotten to play with.
Sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. But one thing about that is like I'm a okay guitarist, I'm an okay singer and everything, but I have such bad performance anxiety that nothing has ever came from it. Like I'm a little bitch pretty much. It's like, oh wow, you can do that, do it. When you tell me to do it, I'm like, nope. You know what? I lied. I'm a terrible musician.
That's
Actually,
my
I'm not that
secret.
good.
I'm anxious all the time, so like when I do go up on stage, it's like more anxiety, but it's like, okay, cool, this is a space I know how to navigate.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's something I'm looking to overcome. That's part of the reason I started like streaming on Twitch. That's part of the reason I started doing podcasts and shit. It's kind of helping me get out of my shell. I'm more social now. Like it's easier for me to talk to people.
You could just
I hear that,
you
bro.
could try recording some short
Go play an
stuff,
open mic.
you know, and then put it on your YouTube just as a start.
Yeah, I might actually, dude. So
Because then nobody's watching you, but you know that people are, that it's gonna be out there.
yeah,
People will be able to see
um,
it. So
a better idea is putting on a completely like separate YouTube channel with a completely different alias that doesn't show my identity.
not doesn't even have anything to do with octopuses.
Yeah,
No one
yeah.
can connect
Maybe
to
I could just do squids, like Squid Jesus, and nobody would ever
you. Way
know.
to way to think right outside and pressed up against the box, bro.
That's so funny. Just straight up a burner account.
Yeah. And then if people are mean to me, I'll be like, okay, this isn't for me.
You can call yourself fucking
No, then you
young
just
Cody Bars.
say fuck them and keep plugging away until you write good music.
Oh man, do we have to show Jay young Eric Bars?
Not during the
Please
cast.
don't. Jay seems like a cool guest. It might be fun to
Yeah.
have him back
Oh
at
my
some
God.
Yeah,
point.
don't fucking
Hell
ruin
yeah,
that.
bro. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I won't.
Also, neither of us want to hear that again. It was funny the first like 3 or 4 times.
But yeah. Since I brought him up though, anybody who's interested, best rapper ever, young Eric Bars, look him up on YouTube.
Even better than Dylan.
But
No, nobody.
yeah, I didn't catch that reference.
Chappelle Show.
What?
Who are the 5 greatest rappers? Dylan, and Dylan. No?
I feel like I'm about to be crucified right now.
I can't believe you don't fucking remember that shit.
Go ahead.
Or haven't seen
I
it.
haven't seen it. No.
Well, fuck, man. That's a bummer for you.
Yeah, maybe I'll go check it out.
And back before Chappelle turned out to be just another asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually kind of
When he before he started punching down all the time.
we were actually kind of talking about that very briefly in the last podcast. How like just I assume all celebrities are assholes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at this point I'm never surprised when I hear, "Oh, it's like, hey, this guy, imprisoned and raped this girl." It's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
what a shock."
yeah. Cause like
It's like, was he in Epstein's book too?
yeah, right.
Dude, actually, when Jay gets back, I have a story speaking of scumbag celebrities.
Oh shit.
And it's pretty wild. We'll say that.
You spill the tea, bro.
Oh shit. Who you calling out?
Oh, you won't be surprised by who it is, quite frankly.
Yeah. Was it the guy who stole your guitar pedal in the first
Tank.
episode?
No.
All right. Actually, while we're waiting for him to get back, I'm going to use the bathroom. So we'll take a quick break.
Yeah, you know what? Same, honestly.
I
Yeehaw.
need to take my headphones off for a second.
and we are back. So, Passable here says he has a story involving a shitty celebrity he wants to share. And then after that, we're going to be talking about Jay's favorite albums and what inspired him. And then I should be wrapping up pretty soon. So,
Alright.
yeah, Passable, if you want to go ahead and tell your story.
So like, not a very long story or anything, but I did a weekend trip through 26 in California, which is where they also held R. Kelly when he was waiting trial. And turns out, dude had to be in solitary confinement for his own safety because, well, you know, you do certain things and inmates take exception. Like, dude was also a very hot topic of conversation with everybody in holding. Like, literally one of the only things people talked about. But yeah, asshole celebrities, I guess.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, Jay, are you back? Can you hear us?
He's muted.
Yeah, I'm back,
all right,
man.
all right.
I'm here. I wasn't sure if you guys, how long that story might go. I was waiting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, but yeah, if you want to go ahead and talk about some albums that mean something to you of any genre of your choice.
Hell yeah. Okay. Albums that mean a lot to me. I definitely feel like the first is gonna be, wow. There's so many. Let me
Yeah,
tell
dude,
you.
it's
There's so many, but because like I'm inspired heavily by a couple of things, like trombone players and music by trombone players. So there's two heavily influential trombone albums that like I fucks with to this day. One is, I mean, the out of those two that like I think really shape who like I currently am as a trombone player. The first is "Back of Town" by Trombone Shorty.
oh hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
Easily top choice. The second one is by a band called Super Hi-Fi. They're a trombone duo. I think they went to Berklee School of Music in Boston or maybe NYU. But like they have I want to say their album is actually still called Super Hi-Fi, and they basically no, I'm sorry, their album is called Dub to the Bone. So it's those two, bass, I think guitar and drums, of course, but they have like it's a dub trombone album, like dub reggae. It's so sick.
Interesting.
Their harmonies are on point. If you haven't heard it, check it out. It's
Yeah,
the favorite song for me off that album is called Washingtonian. So those two huge albums I'm influenced by, really big. And then if I had to pick a third, it would be First Place by J.J. Johnson. So when I was a kid in high school, J.J. Johnson was, I mean, he still probably is highly regarded as the number one jazz playing trombone player of all time.
Oh, right on.
Right. If you're talking about goats of trombone players in the jazz world, a lot of people may debate about it. He's maybe not my like favorite stylistically. I mean, but he's the man. He's
Right.
the greatest of all time. Like you regard him as that regard. I found it funny because like his name is JJ. Like it's not like his initials stand for Jay. So I found that really cool. As a guy named Jay, I love artists named Jay. Like like legitimately named Jay, not like my name is short for something because Jay is my real fucking government name.
Yeah,
And
Jay's
so
got to stick
people always
together,
think
man.
it's short for something. Real Jays. Not fake Jays,
Yeah. Fuck them fakes. There's so many fake J's in this
There's
world.
so many fake Jays.
You
You know what I mean?
motherfucking Jays.
And the sad part is, like, one of my other top albums is a Jay-Z album, right? I'm a huge Jay-Z fan as a rapper, but like Jay is not his real name. His real name is Sean.
Boo.
So
I mean,
like
he's a rapper. Come
only
on, of course it's not.
he's the only fake Jay that I fuck with really
Hey.
heavy. Right?
The only one who gets a pass.
Man, that's really
The only
funny.
one for me gets a pass.
So Jay, something occurred to me. Were you with Fishbone when they played Back to the Beach?
No, that's fucking.
I was gonna say if you
That's
were,
before.
then I actually saw you play.
That's. Yeah, dude. I wish. I'm so ever loving sad. That was when they reunited, bro.
That was such a good show, man.
Of course it was.
Like that's one of the best shows I've ever been to, dude. Saw bands I never thought I'd have an opportunity to see again since I missed it in the early 2000s and shit.
Bro, since I've left the band, they've been doing so many good shows that I'm like honestly jealous of. They're playing in Puerto Rico next week.
Oh shit.
Oh damn.
I've never wanted to go to Puerto Rico, but like knowing that a band I was in is going to fucking Puerto Rico and I'm not going makes me fucking sad. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
I want to go.
Yeah.
Hey man, just hit him up.
Like,
Be like,
shit.
take me with you guys.
Like, hey, you can always use some more, like, another trombone, right?
Man.
Come on.
Yeah, 2 trombone players, man.
It's a ska band. What the fuck?
If when I left the band because they were reuniting, I never thought I would if I got the opportunity to go back. But now, dog, I would jump at the chance. I would jump at the fucking chance to do. Like, I've had enough time away to where I'm like, the awkwardness is slowly kind of fading, but I still don't go to like, as many shows of Fishbones as I can go
Yeah.
to. I can literally just go to be like, hey, I'm going to this show, blah 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 blah. But it's like, man, the questions, the awkwardness, the fans, all of the like, I wish I was up there feelings. I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
It's too
I get it. Yeah.
It's too personal for me, even though it's not my fucking band. Like all of those things affect me.
Yeah.
But so going back to the your inspirations, that second one, that was Super High Five, right? Did I hear that right?
Super Hi-Fi, HI dash.
Oh, Hi-Fi.
Super
I
Hi-Fi.
see. All right, yeah, because that sounds dope as hell. I definitely gotta check that shit
The
out.
turntable you ordered.
Yeah.
Check out their Dub to the Bone album. It's fucking amazing.
Dub to the Bone. Is this gonna end up being another vinyl that I have to like scour the earth to find?
Well, considering vinyl is your
quite
new
possibly.
hyperfixation, then yeah.
Because I don't even know if they have vinyl, bro. Like they
shit,
might.
I got you.
But yeah, like you'll definitely love at least Washingtonian and probably Tree Trio. I think is the name of it. 3T
Right
words.
on.
I just can't. Yeah, man. Yeah. So those are huge inspirations for me as a trombone player. Like as a vocalist, like like I do a lot of rap rock shit, which is kind of hilarious. I find huge inspiration from some old Jay-Z stuff because again my favorite rapper of all time. But like I have like a huge number of different like musical inspirations in different ways, like different genres of stuff. Like I love motets from classical music and shit like that. That's one of the few things that I actually like really love, like like a cappella like singers.
Yeah, just no medieval music.
Nah, man, medieval music. I fucking that was a semester, well, a quarter at UCLA that I fucking dreaded, but it was like literally what kickstarted me into fucking music history was taking a medieval music history course and passing it, knowing that I could fucking succeed in the major.
Man, you should really give a middle finger to the system and like start a medieval music band.
Medieval ska.
Yeah, medieval ska band.
You like the harpsichord and the lute.
Yeah, that would be fucking.
Man, it's funny, or not even really funny. It's just that'd be cool as hell too, because like nobody's ever done that shit. Not that I can think of.
God, I've heard the green sleeves.
That's
a ska version of. I think maybe Jur might have because he does everything, dude. That dude's amazing. I'm very inspired by Jur. You know, he's hardworking. Like I don't have any of his albums, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like vinyl or anything like that. But Bothered Unbothered is a banger. I can't remember the last couple of albums he's put out, but
Yeah, he does good stuff, dude.
yeah,
I love
kicks
his
ass.
covers on Scotty Network too.
Yeah, man, he's pretty kick ass.
Yeah.
I'll have to say,
oh, no, go ahead.
Crazy Glue by Fishbone, because that's like the first time I got to record with those dudes. Like, even though I didn't write any of the shit,
you.
like I got to do that. The second EP that we did is called Intrinsically Intertwined. I got to work on and write the horn parts for like maybe one or two songs on that album. Also very good for me. Like Crazy Glue was a kind of like a different experience because I got to just. It was my first foray into it. A lot of the songs were kind of written more collectively, while Intrinsically Intertwined was more like Angelo and Norwood having solo differently ideas and then pushing them together for like a short EP. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
that part. So I didn't really get to flex my creative muscle writing with Fishbone as much as I would have liked to.
Right.
So that's a huge regret for me. Because of those things, like I got to pour in my musical creativity into the two bands that I'm currently a front man for, the lead singer of. That's Year of the Dragon with Dirty Walt from Fishbone, who, you know, we were both horn players. He's a horn player and kind of like a hype man in Fishbone in that way. You know, me being a horn player, but we don't play horns in this band. It's specifically rock. It's like, so that's it.
Yeah, when I checked it out, I was like, "What? I don't hear a trombone.
Any horns,
What the
bro?
heck?"
No
Yeah,
horns.
that's what threw me off guard when
I was all talking to Octopus about it. I'm like, I was like, dude, that fucking lead singer, that's goofy, dude. I love it. And he's like, yeah, that's Jay. It's like, oh.
You know, I'm the one doing a heavy carrying of the lyrics now, but Dirty Walt is like such a clean vocalist that like from my time working in Fishbone and then working in this band, I'm heavily inspired by him. So sometimes like it took me a while to kind of find my own voice in the band, but now I feel like I'm good with it. In a lot of ways, I feel like I've taken over the lead songwriting duties as a vocalist and lyricist in a lot of the tracks. We're working on a new album, which should probably, like our last album, Take Control 2019 release, has about, I don't know, 11 songs on it or something like that. And our new album that we're working on currently is about, I'd say, at least demo wise, halfway done. And we have prospectively 12 or 13 tracks easily.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Half of those tracks are like me, you know, shouldering the lyrical duties and Walt being my head man. A few of them are like us trading off together, like Run DMC, and then a few are like him writing, leading the way.
Right.
But like, yeah, that's huge. Then I have my other band, Electric Gremlin, which is basically what I've taken from Wild Bunch and like apply it and like Trombone Shorty and applying to a band where I am the sole lead singer. I am the main songwriting like trombone player. Like, you know, me and my buddy, we are songwriting partners basically. But like it's the first band I've ever had the opportunity to create kind of whatever the fuck I want. Right. I've always been a for hire guy who I was talking to somebody about this recently, who's basically like the understudy of the AAA trombone players, right? I get to, you know, fill in for somebody when they leave Fishbone. I get to fucking
Playing in the
fill
minor league.
in. Yeah, and then I get called up, and then I'm like, oh, great, like, cool. I want to be, you know, just an equal member of this group, and it's like, well, you didn't start it, so too bad.
No. Like, you're a
You know.
session musician. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
You know what I mean? So that
I,
that's a hard feeling for me to feel as like, you know, a perpetual. You know, I like my role. I love being
But
the
it's
side
not
guy.
like, you know, it's not your band in any way. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you
It's
can
just
just
a
always
band that
be
you're
like,
playing in.
step aside, son. Get the fuck out the way. You know,
And
Like,
then,
like,
and
like
then
you
it's
play
back
enough
down to the
sessions.
minor leagues with you.
man, I will say this
So
though.
that's how it
A
is.
while back, you sent me "Pocket Chocolate" by Electric Gremlin, and like, dude, that song fucking
I didn't write
slaps.
that.
Oh,
I didn't write that. My buddy wrote
you didn't
that.
write that one?
No, man.
Well, I mean,
My buddy wrote that one.
regardless,
I'm
dude,
still
that
stuck for it.
dude, send me a song that you did write for them, because I mean,
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
really did like that, but I think that was the only one you sent me, and I got ADHD, so like, I forget to check shit
No
out,
worries,
like
bro.
really dive deep, like even my favorite
I'll send
bands.
you this. I'll send you this other one. So there's a few songs on Bandcamp because like I took every one of our singles down. We only released like 4 singles, two A and B sides, on like the streaming services, YouTube, and all that shit. But because I want the entire album to be released, hopefully this year will be the time. For that, I took there's the other shit's really just on Bandcamp, and I have one music video that I'm gonna send in the chat real quick. That's called "This World Is Fucking Loco." I did most of the
Oh,
material
you
on
know
this.
what? I think you sent me that one. That sounds very familiar. Um,
It's a ska tune for sure. Like it's a bop.
yeah, no, I
Uh,
think that was the other one you sent me. I think you sent me
yeah,
this one and Pocket
it's not
Chocolate.
even. It's not even on Bandcamp. That shit's only on YouTube. You can only check it out there.
Hell yeah.
YouTube exclusive.
Yeah, it for real is. I've been trying to push the numbers up on that because it's all like DIY. We shot it on the top of the studio from a different angle from Pocket Chocolate.
Hell
So
yeah.
like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then like my banger of a song on like is that one, but like the one I wrote kind of completely, except for the bridge, is "Pause the Cat." My kids fucking love that song. It's the only song that they know of mine that I really wrote, except for like my oldest daughter checked out all of my Year of the Dragon shit. She just said, you know, it sounds like you're screaming all the time. I can't understand what you're saying. And I was
You're
like,
like,
well, all right, then, kid.
I am
like,
screaming.
it's fine. I am like it's an
Like,
angry
I'm
fucking.
upset.
It's an angry band for me. I
Man.
totally use that band to like vent some frustrations on
Yeah,
shit.
that one caught me off guard because I
Get that
listened to it. I was
catharsis.
like, wait, where's the trombone?
So
Yeah,
angry.
seriously. He sends it to me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is his new band." And I'm like, "What the fuck, man? This is not what I was expecting." It's not that it's bad,
Yeah.
you know. I was just like, "What?"
Yeah, it's completely a different pace
Yeah.
from like Electric Gremlin. Even Electric Gremlin is much more like trombone shorty than anything else. But like those are the things that like kind of inspire my songwriting. So like I love Wu Tang. I love lyricists. I love rappers. I love rock. I love fucking jazz and Treme. Fucking I love funk music. Like funk is my shit. I
Yeah,
love
dude,
yoga.
funk is
Yeah.
Like
so sick.
you know what I'm saying, like I love so much shit that like kind of bleeds into who I am as a musician. The one like my least two is gonna be country and fucking
Yeah. Country and
and
medieval.
classical. You know, like that's that's what it is. But I'm gonna wrap up talking because like I really want to go outside. And
Yeah,
smoke.
no, dude.
It's been forever, and I feel like I can continue with a bunch more stories next time.
Yeah, hell yeah. Would like to get you again, man.
I would love to have you again.
For sure, dog. I love you guys. You guys are great. I fucking appreciate being a part of your
Hell,
community,
yeah,
dude.
hell yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, glad to have you.
All right,
That was a good one.
You fucking, what do you guys call cephalopods?
Yeah.
Cephalopodcast.
Because like, I'm actually probably going to write. I don't know if you guys might be familiar with the idea that like the seas will rise and all that type of shit with global warming.
Yeah, definitely.
To me, I feel like squids and cephalopods will rule the
Yes,
world.
dude. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they're gonna fucking take
Yes.
over.
And
Oh, yeah.
man, you know what's crazy about that is
And everything else will evolve into crab.
Exactly.
octopuses only get to be like 2 years old, and in that 2 year lifespan they get smarter than a 2-year-old human. So once the Earth is
Oh, yeah.
flooded and they start living longer, dude, we're fucked.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be, bro. It's water world, but everything's squid related.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, Jay, before you go, if you have anything you want to plug to the potential audience, like
Oh,
your upcoming releases, stuff like that, you can go ahead and do
okay.
that.
Please follow social media for that's yearofthedragonband.com for like we have our last album 2019's Take Control out.
Dope ass album.
Anywhere music is found. We've got merch for sale, t-shirts, beanies, I think some hoodies, stuff like that. Maybe some hats on the website. Electric Gremlin Band on Bandcamp because we have a few singles: Pocket Chocolate, Paws of the Cat, Politician is a Bitch, which is like an Ice Cube cover. And then there's one more on there. I can't remember what fucking song it might be. And of course, This World is Fucking Loco on YouTube by Electric Gremlin Band. And I think that's it for now. I'm sure next time we do this, I'll have some more shit. But that's
All
enough.
right, cool. And I will put the
Cool.
links to that in all the descriptions for everything. So for YouTube and Spotify and for everything. So if anyone wants to check it out, it's gonna be there.
You can post them here in the Discord too.
Yeah, definitely.
One of you, if you want to, then anyone here can check it out as well.
All right, you cats. I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Yeah.
Thank you
All
guys
right.
for having me. You know what I mean? This has been awesome. I can't wait to do it again.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell
Have
yeah.
a good one.
Okay.
Enjoy your smoke.
Yes, sir.
Peace. And I think that's where I'm going to end the podcast. That was a Cephala podcast. Yeah, it was a long boy. Cephala podcast, episode 4. And it's, like I said, just links will be in the description. YouTube, Discord, Spotify, all that shit. Go check it out. Peace.
Peace.